Hello, I'm back again, and today I need to fix something that I broke last time. My text renderer completely stopped working. I'm supposed to be seeing text here. It's not working. I don't know why. I was trying to figure it out at the end of the last stream, but I couldn't do it. I kind of gave up in frustration. So I don't know. I'm going to start again today with a fresh brain, and hopefully I can figure it out this time. So one thing I could test that I didn't test last time, I'm only testing it with this debug print, but I can actually just put text directly to the buffer and see if that shows up at all. So let's see, tester, let's just put it at 100, 100, scale it by 5. We'll make it just completely black so I can definitely see it, and then the game state. So let's see if this shows up. It'll definitely narrow down where the problem is. And it does. Okay, so that tells me that the problem is somewhere in this, or sorry, in this debug print here. Or, yeah, I think because that's the only step in between here and here, is that debug print. So let me run the debugger one more time and step into it. See if I can figure this out. Because I stepped through it last time, but I just was really focusing on the text, making sure the text was okay. But let me take a look at the position. Maybe the position is off. So if I go to the buffer, debug printer X, and debug printer Y. See, okay, yeah, that would be the problem. That's supposed to be like 2525 or something like that, but it's putting it way off my window. My window's only 450 pixels tall. So what would be causing that? Oh, I guess that would be it. Yeah, so I'm setting my debug printer start Y to the Windows dimension X minus 50. That should be Y minus 50. So, oh my God, I hope that's it. I hope that was the only problem I was having. Let me kill the terminal and rerun it, recompile it and rerun it and see. Yeah, okay, sweet. All right. Oh, I'm so glad I fixed that. That was bugging me. Yeah, that did not take nearly as long as I thought it was. Oh yeah, so the whole reason I discovered that was because, hold on, let me clean up some of this stuff here. I don't keep that. I don't need this or this. Keep everything else. Anyway, the whole reason I discovered that was because I was trying to get the mouse buttons to work, and so I commented those out to see if those would work, and I believe I deleted the code that was testing it, the printing out. So let's try this again here. Debug print, pass in the address of the game state. So I want to check the left mouse button, the middle mouse button, and the right mouse button. So that's going to be my mouse inputs at mouse button left. That's going to be right, and this one is the middle button. Okay, so hopefully this works. All right. So no, it doesn't work. The only one that had any response was the middle mouse button, but it just gets set to true. It doesn't go back to false when I let go. So let me see if I can figure out why. Let me consult the almighty documentation here. See if I understand completely what this is for. Posted when the user presses the middle mouse button. Wait, I thought this was mouse button down. I guess it's middle button down? So does that mean, oh, because there's a L button down and presumably R button down. Okay, okay, I was just completely misunderstanding what this is for. So this is only for the middle mouse button. So then that means I should be able to do mouse button middle here and here. And then if I do that, at least the middle one should be responding. Yeah. Okay, so then the left or right, left and right are not working because I gotta do a whole nother check for that. So that's gonna be the left mouse button, left mouse button, left, and left. Yeah, that one's working, the middle one's working, and so now we need to check the right mouse button. Cool, that is working. So then I don't think, because I remember I did this ugly thing where I made this 64 booleans long, but I don't need that many buttons. So now I could just make it 4, and then I don't need these. I could just set these sequentially. So that should still work. Yeah, with a fraction of the space. Cool. I like that. Let's see, what else can I do? So yeah, now that that is working, I'm going to put this mouse inputs into my game state here. So I'm going to move that down here. I'm going to make another Boolean pointer for the mouse inputs. And this only needs to happen once. I'm doing this every frame. That would go, I guess here is fine. And then so the mouse inputs need to get initialized as well. I think that's all still good. Everything still works. Yay. All right, cool. So I might keep that in case I want to debug something else. You know what I should do? I'm going to look up how to get the scroll wheels position, or scroll wheels change, I guess would be more accurate. I'm not sure how to do that though. Let's see. WM. Mouse H wheel. Mouse wheel. Send active mouses horizontal. Okay, I don't have a horizontal scroll. Mouse wheel. So I'm assuming this is the one, the third button one. So let me check for that. And then the W, the high order word indicates the distance the wheel is rotated. I don't know what that means. We'll figure that out though. So yeah, case WM mouse wheel. So if that happens, don't forget the break, then I need to get the high order word from wparam. How do I do that? So what if I just take high order word, put that into your search? No. Nothing I can tell. The L param. So if I'm using the size, the L param will get the low order and the high order word. So what if I search low order word of L param? What does that tell me? It's all the same stuff. I need more information. What if I just type in low order word? What is low word? So we got low word. Oh, and there's a high word. So what is it? Is this what I need? So it gives you back a word, which as far as I know is 16 bits. I might be wrong. Takes in a word, a D word, a double word. Okay, so that's 32 bits and then that's 16 bits. I don't know, why can't you just use the normal data type? Yeah, okay, so yeah, I think I used this. So I completely forgot what I was trying to do. Scroll wheel, that's what it was. So I need assist size, go back to scroll wheel. Mouse wheel. Okay, so the high order word, so I think I could use that high word. Gives you the distance the wheel is rotated expressed in multiples or divisions of wheel data, which is 120. Okay. Let me just do this. Let me try this high word. Hopefully that works. Of W param. Okay, so let me just say. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'll make temporary stuff here. So it's a word, right? So it's 16 bits, probably signed 16 bits. I'll call this scroll wheel. Let me just initialize it. I think it already does. Okay, so then I want the scroll wheel to equal that. And then I'm going to debug print it. And I'll just put SW for scroll wheel. Okay, so I think it's working. It goes to 120 when I scroll up. It goes to negative 120 when I scroll down. If I really crank on it, I could get it up to 240. Oh, I saw 360. Anyway, so yeah, that's working. And then as the documentation said, I need to divide it by wheel data, presumably. So this would be divided by wheel delta, not data. So 1 positive 545. So it works when I go up, but it doesn't. I was hoping it would say -1 when I scroll down. Maybe this is unsigned. I need to cast it to signed. Okay, yeah, there we go. And if I really scroll, I could get up to 2, maybe 3 if I'm feeling dexterous. All right, cool. So that's cool. So what can I do? Let's see, I'll just do this here. So you, actually, no, sign. I'm gonna make it 32 bits because I don't know if I need, wait. I'm gonna make it, let's make it at the sign 32-bit integer for now. I don't know. Mouse scroll. I'll call this mouse scroll delta, and then I'll just use that. So game state dot mouse scroll delta is equal to that, and I don't need you anymore. And so that means whoa. Okay, so everything's still working. That's cool. I like that. I got a mouse scroll detector. What else can I do? Right, so key inputs. So let me see. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slowly start getting all this key and gamepad and mouse input stuff into the game, not the operating system. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bite the bullet here. I'm going to go ahead and put the whole camera and light in the game state. I'm going to move that from here. Put that, I think I could actually put that inside my initialized game state. I guess anywhere here is fine. Okay, so I don't want to create a new camera or light. I want to use the states camera, actually. And same for the light. So I know that's going to cause problems elsewhere. Yeah, so everywhere here, I'm using the camera or the light. It's going to give me problems. So like here, in fact, this and this, all the gamepad and keyboard input, I'm going to comment out for now. In fact, yeah, this too, the mouse input, I'm going to comment that out. So then just replace everything with the game states camera. I don't need to do that anymore. Then that would be the game states camera, the game states light, the game states camera again. I think that might be it. No, window width, undeclared identifier. Oh, that is gonna be hold on, is that 97? Oh, that's right. I want to use my game states window dimensions X and Y. That should fix that. And everything still renders, I just can't move anything. So yeah, that's a good time to start getting everything over to the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this here because this is the easiest one to port over, it seems. Okay, but it's not working because I need, let's see here. Oh, because it's still using the regular camera, I believe. So let's change all of this to use the game states camera. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a function over here above initialize game state. Whoops. It's going to be a static void update camera with mouse. And it's basically going to do all of this. Let me go ahead and comment that back out. Format that. So then the update camera, so I need to put that in the game state. So it's going to have its own bool to tell if it's updating or not. And so that means every time the mouse is moved, I want to update the game states camera. Okay, so then that would be state update camera. So that would be the states mouse position.x minus half window width. Well, I don't know what that is from here. So for now, I'll probably change this, but I'm just going to set it equal to the Windows dimensions x divided by 2 times 0.5. Someone told me that that's faster. I don't know. So this is going to be the same thing. It's just using the y and the y there. Okay, so that should be fine. And then this is going to use, okay, so I need to get the camera first. Camera is equal to the states camera, but I need the address of that. So everywhere I got camera dot, I'm going to replace it with camera arrow. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And I don't know what delta time is from here, so I need to add that as well. So let's put that here. So when I'm updating the delta time, again, that's going to be the game states delta time. All right, still got a bunch of errors because here I also want to use, actually let me just do it this way. I want to use the game states delta time now. And that still gives me errors because now I don't know what screen center X and screen center Y is because this is an OS function. I didn't even think about that. And then this should be state update camera. So this, since that's an OS function, I don't even think that needs to be there. Let me comment it out for now and put it every time the mouse is moved. So yeah, after I tell the game state to update its camera, I'm going to reset that back to 0. And realize I'm missing a breakpoint, a break statement there. That could have been a disaster. Okay. All right, so the mouse is getting its position reset. It's just not doing anything, but all the code here looks fine, so I think I just need to call it. So let's say update camera with mouse and pass in the game state. There we go. That's working, the camera's working. I can't control the keyboard yet. That's my next step. So cool, that went pretty well. Now I want to, so this is done. I think I get rid of it. I'm going to keep it for now. So now I want to port over all of this stuff. Actually, yeah. So that's a gamepad, keyboard. Okay, so I'm going to worry about the gamepad next, but for now I'm going to do the keyboard. So I'm going to do the same thing I did. Let's say, so I got update camera with mouse. I don't need that. Static void update camera with keyboard. Okay, so what do I need here? I need that delta time again, so let me get that. Delta time is equal to the state's delta time. I need the key inputs. And I need the camera, and I think that's it. Yeah, so then I just want to change all of those to be pointers. So let's see, camera dot, change it to that. So yeah, where's the previous one? There we go. So change it, change it, change it. Oh, there's more. And those are okay. Okay, so let's see if that works. Oh, it's not going to work. Well, first of all, I have errors. Oh, I missed one. Got too impatient. Okay, so it compiles, but it's not going to work because I need to call the function. Okay, cool. Now that is working. So I got the keyboard and mouse inputs all handed over to the game state for it to do with whatever it wants. So now the last thing, probably the hardest thing, is the gamepad, because this is very sensitive stuff here. So I really should try to figure out a way to make this so like it works automatically whether they have a gamepad plugged in or not. But I'm going to worry about that later. And just assume that everybody who's playing the game at this point has a gamepad plugged in and is planning to use it no matter what. And then, yeah, again, I'll change that all when I feel like it. So how do I do this? Let me look at the structure of my gamepad. Okay, so what do I need? What do I not need? So this is specific to the operating system. The index, what is the index used for? Oh yeah, I need to know what location in this loop it is. Okay. So I don't think I need that in the game state. I don't need the last packet. That's just for knowing whether or not to update it. All I need is the buttons and then the sticks and triggers. So yeah, I'm going to split this up into two different structs. I'm going to say struct Windows gamepad. And then so this is only going to have the state, these things, and that's it. And then I'm going to move this gamepad over to my game code. I guess I could just put it here. So in my game state, I'm going to make a gamepad. Call it gamepad 1. And then here, I'm going to make, instead of this gamepad, I'm going to make a Windows gamepad. I might as well continue calling it gamepad 1. So that's that. So then what was my plan with that again? Let me take a look here. So this, I don't think any of this needs to change. Let me just compile it. Everything compiles, I'm surprised. Oh yeah, because this is all still commented out. That would make a lot more sense. So here, so every time I'm accessing this state, that's an operating system specific thing. That's only Windows can do that. So that means here, I don't need to operate on this gamepad. Okay, I think this is going to be a lot easier than I thought. So I think I just gotta say that the game state dot gamepad is going to get those updates. So this is checking if the gamepad should be updated, or well, this is checking if the gamepad's still plugged in. If so, it's going to check if it should be updated. If it is, or if it should, then I'm just going to take the game states, sticks, triggers, and buttons and update them to be whatever the OS says that they should be. Sounds good to me. I'm going to compile that. Yeah, that still works. Cool. So now let me go back here and make this function. So update with camera, keyboard, mouse. Let's make one more. Update camera with gamepad. So that's going to be basically all of this code here. Basically. All right, so now I need a gamepad pointer. Call it gamepad1 equals an address to the states gamepad1, and that was wrong. So I need a gamepad. I need the delta time again. Let me do that first. And oh yeah, I need the camera. All right, so then all the game pads need to get changed to arrows, and same for the camera. So let's do that first. Done. Okay, so then this is going to be gamepad1 dot, going to get changed to gamepad1 arrow. Change, 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 change. Okay, let's see if that compiles. It do. Let's see if it works. It doesn't, but that's because I forgot to call the function. Update camera with gamepad. Pass in the state. Yeah, it's working. Cool. So that means I can clean up this. Oop, goodbye. I can clean up this and this. Oop, goodbye. And that is awesome. So now my main loop almost fits in one window. Let me see if I get rid of the terminal. Almost. A little bit of scrolling required. But I cleaned up a lot of stuff. At least got a lot of stuff out of the operating system side of things. Still got a lot of stuff to do to clean up. Let's look at my to-do list here. Move all game inputs to game state. Yeah, I'm actually still got some more cleaning up to do, I think. Let me see. Temp storage buffer. Yeah, I don't like the way I got that. That's okay. I guess everything's okay. I thought I had some more like loose variables just sitting around for testing. Oh, like update camera. I don't need that anymore. Text renderer still works. That's a good sign. All right. Oh man, I don't know what to do. Let me see. What else can I do? So I'm gonna go ahead, delete that. I can start the canvas renderer. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of rendering. Use mapping to update constant buffers. Which before I can do that, I want to do function timing. I want to know how fast a function is running. So before I go ahead and do all the work to change that, I want to actually see if what I do is going to improve it at all. Okay, so that's going to take a long time. That's kind of started that already, but not really. Basically, I'm calling these every frame, and I don't need to update everything every frame. I just need to update it when it needs to be. So I want to figure out a way to make the game automatically detect whatever the last thing pressed, that's the current input state. So like if you start picking up your gamepad and playing with that, it'll automatically detect it and start using that as the input. But then if you go back to your keyboard and mouse, it'll automatically detect that and use that as your input. But I can't think of a smart way to do that right now. So I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna go on to audio here. I'm gonna try, I don't know how far I can get. I don't know anything about audio or how Windows wants to do audio. So let's just try, let's just look through the docs and see what we can come up with. Let me, what if I just search for game audio? What does it say about the core Windows, the Windows Core Audio APIs? Spatial sound. Programming guide. What is spatial sound? Doesn't seem like a coding thing. What if I type in 3D sound? Spatial sound again. X3D audio, that sounds promising. X3D audio is an API used in conjunction with Xaudio 2 to create the illusion of a sound coming from a point in 3D space. Okay. So sounds like what I need is this. That's just to play sounds normally, and then if I want to make it 3D, I got to put this in there as well. That's my theory. So it's a little bit different than OpenAL, I would imagine. So OpenAL, all the 3D stuff's built in. But let me take a look at what this has to offer. Application programming interface. Introduction. I just want code examples. Programming guide, that sounds, oh, I was just here. APIs. Programming reference. Just leading me in circles. getting started. Wasn't I just here? How to initialize, there we go. Oh, hey code, what do you know? All right, X-Audio2 is initialized for audio playback by creating an instance of the X-Audio2 engine and creating a mastering voice. Ooh, sounds ominous. Use the X-Audio2 create function to create an instance of the X-Audio2 engine. Okay, let's do that. First of all, let me look at what this needs. So if I'm going to call X-Audio stuff, I need X-Audio2.h and I need to add the X-Audio2 lib. So let's do that. Let's make sure I even have those here. I should. I mean, it's all Windows, right? Include X-Audio2.h. Okay, that looked good. If I compile it, it's fine. If I add it to my build path, this is getting ridiculous. I want to put this on a new line, but I thought I tried this before and it didn't work. Yeah, it doesn't recognize the slash as like saying I want to end the line here. Is it that? Oh, sweet. Yeah, so not slash, but caret. So yeah, now I need to add, what was it? Capital X audio2.lib. All right, so let's see, does that still compile? It does. Does it still run? It does. Okay. Off to a good start. Where was I? So yeah, I'm just going to copy all of this code here. And let's see. I'm just going to put this at the top of my main function. So this is just going to be the first thing that happens when I start my game. For now, obviously. Okay, so I make this X-Audio2 pointer, and then I can just use my check error function. Yeah, let's see. Does that compile? No, because I have too many of these things. But that does not, it's not, oh yeah, I need to put an error message. Could not initialize X audio 2. There we go. All right, now it compiles. And when I run it, the error doesn't happen, so that's good. That seems like it's doing what it should be doing. Okay, so now I need to create the mastering voice. Mastering voices encapsulates an audio device. Okay. I don't know what that does, but let's try this code here and see if this works. So I got a mastering voice, set that to nothing. We're going to check this error here. And I need to put in some error message. I'll say could not create mastering voice. Oh, could not create mastering voice. For shame, what the hey? Why can you not create mastering voice? Let me run the debugger and see. Nothing. Let me step into that, see what the error is. So the error, co-initialize has not been called. You don't say anything about calling co-initialize. Yeah, there's not any co-initialize anywhere in your documentation. What are you talking about? Is that function anywhere? Co-initial, okay, so it takes in a LP void. This parameter is reserved and must be null. Then why put it? So I need to add this and this. Wait, I don't. This is getting weird. Well, what do I have to lose, right? Okay, so apparently before I do this, I need to call this co-initialize, but I don't think it knows. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so I got a link error because I need to add olay32.lib. So let me try that. Okay, so that's it, I guess. I need to call co-initialize for whatever reason. What does this even do? Initializes the com library on the current thread and identifies the concurrency model as single thread apartment. Now applications should call co-initialize ex instead of co-initialize. Oh, new applications should call. Well, what's the difference? If you want to use Windows runtime, you must call that instead. I don't know what you're talking about. So this one takes two parameters. The concurrency model and initialization options for the thread. Values for this parameter are taken from the co-init enumeration. Any combination has. I don't know. This is, you're giving me a headache, Windows. I don't know. This works. I'm going to stick with this for now. Yeah, so I'm assuming it's getting initialized properly. This check error is not doing anything, so I'm going to call that good for now until it doesn't work. Let's see if I can actually play a sound. Resource interchange file format. I don't really care about that. Not yet, at least. I just want to load raw data. In fact, let me do that. Let me go ahead and set up the sound that I want to play. Let me do this. It'll be a byte, a bunch of bytes. I'll call this sound byte. It's a little pun. And then I'm going to play 1 second's worth of that many samples. Or, yeah, I don't know if that made sense. But anyway, I'm going to play that many. I'm going to play 1 second worth of sound, and I want it to go at that frequency, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So let me. Okay, so I just want 8-bit single channel sawtooth, or wait, is that? So I think it's sawtooth, where you basically just modulo I. Yeah, so let's say sound byte at I is equal to I modulo 128. No, hold on, that's not right. Modulo 256, but then I want to subtract 128 from that. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I want. I guess I can just run the debugger and check. So what did I call it? Soundbite. Is it not here? Oh, there it is. So yeah, negative 127, 26. Should go up to positive 128 and then go back down to the whatever the negative was. Or yeah, positive 127, then back. Yeah, okay, so that's good. Probably doing more calculations than I need to. But this is all just temporary. This is all just test to see if it's working. So now my goal is to get this put into some kind of buffer that X Audio 2 can play. So now let's see if I can do that. So I don't care about this riff format. How to load audio data files. Oh man, this is going to be complicated. Populating XAudio2 structures with the contents of riff chunks. I'm going to assume this is my riff chunk. I don't know what a riff is, but that's my riff chunk. So I need a wave format X structure and an XAudio2 buffer. So I need one of these. And an XAudio2 buffer. So let me pull that up. Okay, so I got to fill out all of that stuff. And what was the other one? One of these things. Okay, so I got to fill out all of that and all of that. This is complicated. Okay, so once I do that, okay, let's just assume I created those, and then create file. Where am I actually loading? Oh, maybe that's here. Okay, so I get a source voice, and then, okay, so I create the source voice passing in whatever I make for that thing. Okay, so I make the source voice with this, and then I make the buffer, I load the buffer into the source voice with this. And then, okay, so here's all the code I need basically. So I create the source voice, I submit the buffer, and then I can start it to play the sound. Okay, so let's see if I can do that. I don't know. All right, starting with this guy, I need a W format tag. Yeah, so let me copy all this actually. All right, so this is gonna go here. All this goes here. Delete all this stuff. What am I doing? There we go. That's all I wanted to do. Okay, so this is going to be either, what is this? This value should be wave format PCM. Value must be extensible. Okay, so I think that's all I want, PCM. The number of channels, wave, mono. Yeah, so I just want mono for now. One channel. Number of samples per second, that's that one. So I'm gonna put tot. Average bytes per second. That's the same thing, I think. Required average data transfer rate in bytes per second for the number. Yeah, so I want this to take 1 second to play is what I'm trying to say. So I think that's what I mean is when I put one, or no, I put the same thing, to put that many bytes per second. Block alignment in bytes. The block alignment is the minimum atomic unit of data for the format tag type. So I think it's 1 byte divided by 8 bits. Yeah, so I think that's 1 because I'm only playing 1 byte per sample, or 1 sample per byte, however that's supposed to be said. Bits per sample is 8, right? 8 or 16, yeah, so I'm only playing 8 bits per sample. And the CB size, what is that all about? Size in bytes of extra format, and then I don't have any extra format. It's 0. I can put 0, right? I'm looking in the wrong spot. If no extra form is required, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, cool. So that is that. Now let's try to fill out this audio buffer. So that's got more stuff to it. I don't like that. Oops, forgot one. All right, so now what are the flags? The flags provide blah, blah, blah. Yeah, end of stream, sure. Audio bytes. Size of the audio data in bytes must be larger. That's the same thing as I put up here. It's total. The audio pointer to the audio data. So I think that's where I put in my actual data here. So that would go there. That would be sound byte. Play begin. First sample in the buffer that should be played. Well, the very first one. I'm assuming it's 0 indexed. Play length. How many bytes? The length of the region to be played in samples. Oh, so in samples. So it's each byte's a sample. So that's total. The loop begin. What the heck? Loop begin. Sample beat to the loop. Loop length. Ow. 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 Must be less than loop play. If must be 0 if loop count is 0. Oh, okay, so let's just make all these 0. I don't want to loop it. Loop it. Loop it. Loop it. Nope. No loop count, and then the pointer to a context of some sort. Call back to the client. This may be null. Okay, if it may. All right, that wasn't that bad. Now I need to create this thing. The source voice. Why did I put so much space? Okay, I'll say could not create source voice. P audio data, undeclared identifier. What are you talking about? Line 661. Oh, that should just be that. Cannot convert from S8 to byte pointer. Oh, because I probably want to cast that. Wait. Huh? Isn't that what a byte is? Oh, constant. It has to be constant? Are you kidding me? Oh, wait. It already is constant. What? Oh, okay, so what if I say it's a constant byte pointer? Now you'll shut up. Okay, so P context doesn't need that either. And okay, so we don't know what that is because that should be WFT. Okay, so that doesn't give me any errors, so I'm assuming that line is working as it should be. So now I gotta do submit the source. Okay, so that would be P source voice, submit source buffer, and that's gonna be my audio buffer, I believe. Probably need the address of that. Okay. That's not giving me any errors. So now, the moment of truth. Oh wait, actually, you know, I didn't even check if this is giving me any errors. Wait, that one is. This one's not. Let me. Could not. Okay, so this one I'll say could not submit audio buffer. So far, so good. Now, the last and final test. Will my sound play? All right, so let me just see. Check error. So yeah, P source voice start. Apparently, I don't need anything in there. And then yeah, could not play sound. Okay, I'm really scared that this is not going to work. And I'm also scared that it's going to work too well and blow out my eardrums. So I'm going to loosen up my headphones. This is a warning to everybody. Please turn down your audio just in case this does work and it blows out the speakers. Here we go. I'm compiling it. I'm running it. It worked. I got 1 second worth of sound, worth of sawtooth sound from my buffer. Oh man, that wasn't that bad. I thought I was gonna be stuck doing that forever. Okay, wow, I am really impressed with how smoothly that went. No thanks to the documentation, mind you. They did not help me very much. I mean, it showed me what code to write, but you know, a little bit more presentation wouldn't have hurt. But oh man, I'm really happy. I'm well on track to getting audio played. What was that X3D? First of all, let me bookmark this. I feel like I'm going to need this. Done. And then I want to do 3D sound at some point. X3D audio. So let me go ahead and bookmark that as well, because I'm definitely going to have to come back to that at some point. All right. No, I don't need to save that. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. End on this high note. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Let me save it to GitHub real quick. Git add everything. Git commit. So what did I did a lot. I cleaned up inputs, game state, and started audio processing. Sounds like a good message. Push it. And as soon as that is saved, I am going to sign out. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you next time.